Rump States are kingdoms or empires that are remnants of a larger kingdom that once ruled the area. An example that I used in a prior video was the Neo Hittites, who formed because of the dispersal of the Hittite people from their homeland in central Anatolia. They later consolidated to create the Neo Hittite states, also known as the Syro-Hittite states. Let me elaborate on the Neo Hittites. Luwians were the first Anatolian people to inhabit the Mediterranean coast. They were an already established people group in the area even before the fall of the Hittites, and so Luwian kingdoms survived in the area of Carchemish throughout the Bronze Age collapse. Even through Aramean infiltration in the area, Luwian kingdoms and cities retained their heritage. In a way, these states were a combination of Mesopotamian and Anatolian influences, as indicated by their religion, culture, and art. Taruntasa was a prominent state that was influenced by Hittite culture. It formed in Cilicia, in the southern part of Anatolia. Carchemish also became the core of a Neo-Hittite state with the same name. Carchemish was shorter lived and slowly became an Aramean state. Names transitioned from Hittite to Aramean, and soon a majority of the population had adopted Aramean culture. Taruntasa's disintegration was more gradual, as it slowly divided into 4 regional kingdoms, and they became increasingly disunified from each other. These were later annexed by the Assyrians. Another interesting rump state that relates to one of my previous videos is the Kingdom of Bali. Bali, being Java's eastern neighbor, was heavily influenced by Javanese kingdoms, even more so when the Majapahit kingdom conquered the island. During Majapahit rule, Bali and Java strengthened their ties and even began sharing similar traditions. However, things completely changed when Muslim kingdoms took over Java and the Majapahit kingdom fell. Nearly the entire Majapahit royalty either fled to Bali or inland. The portion that went inland formed an isolated community of people known as the Tengris, and they still hold on to their past traditions. For the portion that went to Bali, not only did they preserve their culture, but they created a completely new kingdom known as the Bali Kingdom. The form of Hinduism that they practice takes elements from traditional religions, as well as Hindu teachings from India. Bali, under the Gelgel Kingdom, took control of lands outside their home island. Lombok was their first external domain, and they soon extended to the coast of Blambangan in eastern Java, including the city of Banyuwangi. The Bali Kingdom later split up into 9 different kingdoms, all of which would frequently go to war with each other. Later, European countries like Portugal and the Netherlands would visit the island, but they mainly left the people to themselves until the 19th century. The Dutch used the Sasakra rebellion to drive the Balinese out of Lombok, and eventually made gains on the island of Bali itself. Southern Bali remained staunchly independent, but soon the Dutch launched an expedition that ultimately annihilated the Kingdom of Bali. The Kingdom of Soissons was a rump state of the Western Roman Empire located in modern-day France. This began when Majorian, the emperor of the Western Roman Empire, appointed a man named Aegidius as the military commander of Gaul. Majorian was later killed, and the Germanic states took land from the weakened Romans. However, Aegidius prevented the Germanic invaders from entering Gaul. After Aegidius, the short-lived Kingdom of Soissons experienced its last ruler, Syagrius. The Germanic Franks were frustrated with this last abode of Roman presence and sought to annihilate it. In the Battle of Soissons, the Frankish king Clovis defeated Syagrius, taking control of the Kingdom of Soissons and completely eliminating Roman presence in Western Europe. Now, we discuss the final state in this video, the Kingdom of Armenian Cilicia. Although more of a breakaway state than a rump state, it is an interesting abode of Armenian culture on the Mediterranean coast, far from the mountainous country itself. The region of Cilicia was reconquered by the Byzantines in 965 CE and began to attract a large number of Armenian settlers because of turmoil in their original homeland. This region quickly became a distinct state, and the first king was crowned in 1080 CE. This region became extremely important when it came to the Crusades because it was an important place for the Crusaders to gather resources. In the 13th and 14th centuries CE, the Kingdom of Armenian Cilicia was ravaged by the Mongols and eventually absorbed by the Muslim Mamluks, and no help came from Europe, which left the kingdom in the hands of foreigners. Rump states are an extremely interesting type of kingdom that is a last resort to the remains of a larger empire. There are many such states throughout the world and throughout history, and here I've discussed some of the most intriguing. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe to support this channel, and more content will be coming soon.